Well, here we are, home again. And, oh, everything's exactly the way we left it.
Not quite. I do think this place could use a spring cleaning from top to bottom.
Well, don't you even think about tackling it yourself. We'll hire someone.
No, Ben, really, I can do it.
No argument. That's our baby you're carrying. And I don't want you taking any chances.
Chances? It's not hard labor to do
come here.
dusting.
Come over here.
What?
Just do what I say and get over here.
Ben, what are you doing?
Yeah, come on. Now, do you know where you're standing?
Yeah, I know where I'm standing. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think before we get busy with the house cleaning and the prenatal care or whatever, we should make sure that our new beginning gets off on the right foot. What do you say I carry you in like I did the first time?
You mean carry me over the threshold again?
Yeah.
No thanks, Ben. I'll pass.
Believe me, the clinic can use the publicity, not to mention a generous amount of funding.
Then I take it you're keeping close tabs on the color of the bill.
Oh, the one before the Senate now?
Once it passes, it means the government won't cut its purse strings on federal medical grants.
Well, all well and good, but it doesn't really affect us. Ben and I decided against seeking any government aid.
Daddy, you're running a free clinic. Certainly you'll qualify for assistance.
Well, undoubtedly, but it's our ground rules that disqualify us. Our doors aren't open for abortion, Stacy. They never will be. And to get government money, you have to play by government rules. And unfortunately, these days, our government makes abortion on demand a prerequisite for its aid.
I know you have strong religious beliefs now, Dad.
Oh, no,
but
no,
in
no,
this
no, no.
day-
Religious beliefs have nothing to do with it.
What do you mean? I thought all the people against abortion today are religious.
Well, many of them are, yes, but there was a time when doctors were against abortion, no matter what their beliefs. When you were a little girl, you used to go through my library. Have you ever read the Hippocratic Oath?
The pledge that doctors take.
Right.
I know it's supposed to be a code of conduct, a medical ethic, isn't it?
Exactly. It's given to students in medical school as a creed, as a moral guideline. And it says in part, I will give no deadly medicine to anyone if asked, nor suggest any such counsel. Furthermore, I will not give to any woman an instrument for abortion.
It says that specifically?
Specifically. Now, you've heard of there's nothing new under the sun. Now, that's Bible. But Hippocrates knew it too. Yes, even in his day, abortion and the value of human life was a hot issue.
That's incredible. Yet if that's true, how did the medical profession ever let abortion legislation get passed?
Well, that's a good question. The only answer I can come up with is that there were too many doctors like I was. They took a relative humanistic stand on moral issues. They interpret the Hippocratic Oath to mean whatever they want it to mean. They refuse to believe that there are rights and wrongs, that there are no black and white issues today. Everything's gray and open to personal interpretation. Don't get me started. Now, Ben and I decided that this clinic would be run by prayer and private funding, and from sponsors who believe that human life does indeed begin at conception. And we're counting on the opening of the clinic to bring those people in.
Maybe the event will draw more than just sponsors.
Now, what do you mean?
I will make sure Mom knows about it.
Well, thanks, Stacy, but the clinic's the last place your mother will come.
Now, I know your views on abortion differ now, but there are
There
other...
are other stumbling blocks, yes. One whose name is Lee Carruthers.
How much time do we have to eat? Not enough time for you to order seconds, that's for sure.
Oh, come on, man. I haven't had breakfast.
It's tough luck. I told you, we have to be down at the site before Amber and her models get there.
Well, guess who's here? Amber's sister, Stacy.
Yeah. And her father. Why don't we go say hi? Come on.
You can't give up, Daddy. Lee Carruthers hasn't made himself a permanent part of Mother's life yet.
Well, I'm not giving up Stacy. There's still a fighting-year-old man, and enough to fight a duel if he has to.
Now you're talking.
Dr. Phillips.
Well, hello, Peter.
How you
Hi,
doing?
Peter.
Good, how are you? It looks like Leon's is your favorite dining place, too, huh?
Well, we drop in here a lot, yeah.
Hi, Gil. Nice to see you again.
Stacy.
You haven't met my father. Dad, this is Gil Prescott. He's a friend of Amber's and Peter's employer.
Gil, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Do you care to join us?
Well, no, we've got some business to discuss, but thank you. Some other time?
Sure. Nice seeing you, Peter.
Yeah.
Looks familiar. Oh, now I remember. He was with Amber at the Greenbrier when I bumped into him. Mm-hmm. Really looks familiar.
Familiar, all right. About as familiar as the furniture in Amber's apartment.
Don't be ridiculous, Ben. It isn't necessary for you to carry me across the threshold again.
Well, I know it isn't necessary. That's the whole point.
Look, honey, if you're so eager to carry something, why don't you take my suitcases into the bedroom? I'd like to unpack.
And it's always what you want, isn't it?
Don't start.
Don't start what?
Berating me. I've had enough of that from Mom already.
Yeah, and I've had enough of you giving me the brush off. How much of this rejection do you think I can take, Lori?
I'm not rejecting you.
Oh, just ignoring me, is that it?
What do you want from me?
You mean you really don't know?
No, I don't know. Look, you wanted to come back here. Okay, so we're here. And now you start some petty little argument with me.
It's been going on for months.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it has. Ben, tell me. Who are you really angry with? Me? Or is it yourself for trying to hide the truth about this baby?
Well, are you sure? Are you sure you really want to know?
I'm asking, aren't I?
All right. I am fed up. Totally fed up with being victimized in this marriage. First, it was Blue Nobles, who almost, Lori, almost raped you.
I do not have to hear this.
No. Now, you've asked for it. You're going to listen to me. It wasn't enough that he tried to rob us of all of our happiness. Now you, of all people, you're destroying what little is left. Lori, we have been given a second chance here. And you're just throwing it away because you're either too stubborn or just too immature to bury the past.
And that is so easy for you to say because you didn't go through what I did.
Every time you hurt, I hurt too.
Ben, listen. I am trying to readjust to you and to our marriage.
Well, that's not good enough. Because you have to want it as much as I do. I have to get to the hospital. I'm late already.
Ben, wait. When are you coming home for dinner tonight?
I don't know if I'll be back at all.
So Gil has his own construction company.
It's his father's, to be accurate. He and his sister Marianne are running it now.
It's pretty easy to see why Amber's taken with him.
He's pretty much taken with himself, too.
Well, you don't approve.
Oh, he's Amber's friend, not mine.
What about your friend, Stacy? When am I going to meet the young man in your life?
You'll meet him when I meet him. Right now, my concern is for you and Mother.
Oh, yes, but that shouldn't stop you from having a life of your own.
Oh, it doesn't. I just want to see you two get back together, that's all.
Just as much as Amber doesn't.
What important business do we have to discuss?
Cost analysis.
At lunch? We can do that when we get back to the office.
Chances I won't be returning to the office after we stop by the Canterbury site.
Why not?
Because Amber and I will probably go someplace after the shoot.
Oh, yeah? I bet Amber has work to do with the models like she did last time.
Would you like to make a bet on that? Last time we weren't as well acquainted with each other.
Who's gonna help me with the cost estimate?
Marianne can.
Gil, we're working with the projected figures for next month's construction.
I know.
Marianne's got her hands full with the designs, the ones that you said you wanted yesterday.
Okay. I'll postpone it till tomorrow.
Fantastic.
That's exactly what you wanted, isn't it?
So I just want to make myself available.
Available?
Yeah.
For what?
In case Amber needs someone to run errands for, like I did before.
Yeah, I remember. But just remember whose assistant you are. You hear me? On
Just following in your footsteps.
my footsteps?
Yeah. Yep, I want to check out the scenery.
Please, sit down.
Thank you, Lee.
As a matter of fact, I need to take about 5 right now. Sebastian and I have been organizing our campaign strategies all morning, and whew, you talk about mental exhaustion?
Sounds like my morning. In fact, I'm on my way to a shoot now.
Is that right?
Yes, for the Miller department store account that we're handling. But I wanted to stop by first to thank you.
Well, I never turn down an accolade, even if I don't know what it's for.
Just for a job well done. I understand that you were there at the apartment when Mother's uninvited visitors showed up.
You mean your father?
In name only.
Yes, I was there, fortunately.
He had no right to see her again.
I'm afraid your mother is still a little confused about him.
Well, there is a way to stop that, you know, and you're the one to do it.
Sweep her off her feet, as I recall.
Yes. And you may have already. I have never seen her so happy as when she talks about you.
Now, careful, Amber. I can tell when I'm being baited.
It's true, Lee. You're very good for her. And I recall you saying she's good for you.
Oh, yes, she's a wonderful tonic. No, it's very rare for a man to find a woman that has the charm and the intelligence that your mother has. And she's very strong-willed, too. She doesn't stand for any manipulation or anything, even if it's for her own good. You know, that's why I really respect her.
Are you afraid that she may think you're using her?
No, she knows that Sebastian would stop at nothing to order me a new wife before this next election. You know, anything for the image.
And would you?
Would I what?
Would you be using her just to aid your image?
Amber, I'm sorry. My feelings are much, much stronger for your mother than that.
That's all I need to know. Well, I've got to run.
Really? I mean, can't I offer you something before you go? Some coffee or something?
No, thank you. But it just occurred to me there may be something else I could offer you.
Oh, besides your mother?
Yes. My models.
Your models? No, I don't think Sebastian would go for that.
Oh, no. I mean for publicity work or to raise campaign funds. They are at your disposal.
Oh, all right, fine. That sounds like a good idea. Thank you. I'll run that by him. We might just take you up on that.
You do that. Thanks again, Lee, for seeing me.
Okay. Amber,
Yes.
if I were to ask your mother to marry me before this next election, do you think she would feel I was manipulating her?
Well, it looks as if my little visit here might have been unnecessary. Have you already proposed?
Well, we've discussed marriage.
Discussing isn't proposing.
Well, what do you think?
I think it's marvelous. And no, I don't think Mother would think it was manipulative one bit.
What about your sister? What would she think?
Who cares what Stacy thinks? She has had her priorities on this matter all mixed up from the very beginning.
Well, listen, don't misunderstand my motives, but I mean, an adversary on the Chronicle at this time would certainly not help my campaign.
Don't worry about Stacy. She has no influence whatsoever.
Oh, that's good to know. In case she sees it as a political ploy, you know. Yeah, I'm beginning to realize that with you in my corner, I really don't have to worry about Stacy, do I? Huh?
So tell me, when did you and Ben move back here?
This morning.
Why didn't you tell me earlier? I could have taken the morning off and helped you clean up.
Well, it's just a spur-of-the-moment decision. Like inviting you to lunch.
Well, I won't complain, even though I am a spur-of-the-moment guest. It's kind of like old times.
Yeah, almost.
Well, it's your gain, your mother's loss.
Why do you say that?
Well, she'll probably miss not having you and Ben around.
Oh, I think she's probably glad to get rid of us. At least me.
Come on, as close as you two are.
Well, Marianne, You know I love Mom. But she is still treating me sometimes like I am a 10-year-old child. She's constantly on my case.
You had an argument.
Yeah, you could say that. And it was just because I missed an appointment with Dr. Galvin.
Lori, she's concerned about your health. I mean, what mother wouldn't be?
Well, I'm not an invalid. I'm just pregnant.
With her first grandchild, naturally she's overprotective.
Yeah, well, I'm overprotected enough by Ben. You know, no sooner than we got here, Ben just stormed out.
What happened?
Well, I don't really know. We just seem to argue all the time. The perfect couple.
You are the perfect couple. Don't you ever stop believing that or living it, Lori.
Well, we already have. I don't even know if Ben's gonna come back tonight.
I can't believe you're even thinking that way.
Well, you don't know how angry he was when he left.
Well, have you tried calling him yet at the office or at the hospital?
No, you know how hard it is to track him down at the hospital.
Well, what about the clinic? He's probably there now.
Maybe.
Tell you what, I'll call him at the clinic for you. What's the number?
No, don't, Marianne. I really wouldn't even know what to say to him.
How about I'm sorry?
I'm sorry? For what? He's the one that lashed out at me. He's the one who just walked out.
Lori, does it really matter who apologizes first? The important thing is for Ben to be back home.
Come in.
Mom?
Peter.
Yeah, you got a minute?
Sure. What's up?
That's why I came to find out.
What do you mean?
I didn't have a chance to talk to you this morning.
I know. You barely said good morning before you bolted out the door.
I overslept. I had to cram for that English lit exam, too.
How'd it go?
Don't ask, okay? It was all essay questions.
Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I couldn't concentrate. I knew something was wrong.
Wrong?
I saw you wiping away those tears. It wasn't because you missed me at breakfast.
Yeah, I was wiping them away. I didn't realize you noticed.
Hey, I pick up on a lot more than you think I do. Is there anything I can help you straighten out?
Oh, I wish it was that simple.
Now, don't underestimate me. I can iron out complications, too. I made an A in psychology.
Let that be an inspiration for English lit.
It's too late.
Well, it's not too late to change some situations for the better, Peter. That's what I keep telling myself about Lori. She and Ben moved back to their condo this morning.
No kidding.
It was Lori's idea. I mean, you could say it's her way of escaping from reality again. She made the decision on the spur of the moment.
Well, I don't get it.
She's running away. This time from me, because I confronted her about lying to me.
Oh, Mom, that doesn't sound like Lori.
It isn't like Lori. She couldn't even look me in the face when she left.
Maybe I ought to talk some sense into her.
No. Let's just leave this up to Ben. She can avoid us, but she cannot keep running away from being a wife and mother.
Lori, why don't you try to understand the situation from Ben's point of view?
Marianne, you don't even understand what the situation really is.
I think I do.
Oh, well, then please enlighten me.
How can anyone enlighten you? You're not willing to accept the truth.
What do you think I've been trying to do after all these months? I am sick of living a lie.
That you dreamed up yourself.
Oh, I didn't dream up that I'm carrying this child.
No, but the father blew nobles.
I have heard all this before. From Mom, from Ben. You have all been denying the truth to make it easier on me, and it hasn't worked, Marianne. It's not going to work.
That's because you're not willing to accept the truth. Now, we're talking about your marriage.
Oh, so since when did you become an expert on marriage? I mean, you don't even have any idea what it's like.
Well, you and Ben set a pretty decent example in the beginning. I wasn't disappointed.
Ben and I can never go back to what we had then.
Lori, open your eyes. What you have now is so much better.
Better? Me not knowing how to respond to my husband when he touches me is better?
That's not what I meant.
Well, then what else could you mean?
Love is worth so much more after it's been tested. I discovered that about me and Russ.
Well, apparently yours didn't pass the test.
The point I'm trying to make is that yours already has. You're just not willing to accept it. No, Lori, it doesn't matter what you think about your baby or don't think. What matters is your marriage. What matters is forgiving.
Oh, you're making it sound like it's all my fault.
No,
Just
no.
like Ben.
Not all of it, but almost.
Oh, that isn't fair, Marianne.
You're not being fair, Lori. To Ben, to yourself, and especially to your baby, if you even want it.
How can you say that?
Not very easily, because you're my friend. But it has to be said.
Never once have I ever said anything about not wanting this baby.
You don't have to. Your action speaks for itself.
I didn't invite you over here for insults.
Lori, I know you think I'm being hard on
Look,
you.
let's just drop it, okay?
Drop it. Evading the way you feel is not going to solve anything.
And neither is you hounding me.
Please try to understand.
Oh, I do understand. But the one thing I can't decide whether I despise more is your pity or your self-righteousness.
Look, Mom, Ben hasn't gotten through to Lori yet, so why don't I give it a shot?
Peter, look, I know you want to help, but please come in.
Mary?
Dave.
Hello, Peter. I think it's our day for bumping into each other.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get to work, though.
I thought you had the afternoon off.
No, I gotta get over to Canterbury. Yeah, that's where your daughter is and all her models.
Amber?
Yeah, they're doing a shoot over there. I'll tell her you said hello. See ya.
Okay, bye, Peter. Well, Dave, what brings you by?
Oh, something that needs your touch.
Oh, what's that?
Well, no, I haven't talked to Ben about this yet, but it's time that the clinic had its grand opening. We really have to raise some money, and, well, we need some help, and I came by to ask for your assistance.
You've got it. Just let me know what you want me to do.